got a little another message for you here, and I think we're just going to go there. I'm in Ezekiel 1, and this is verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire unfolded itself, and the brightness was about it. And out of the midst thereof the color of amber. This word color, you need to look it up in the Strong's Concordance. This is a burnished bronze. It's a metal, metallic. This is a vehicle, and he explains it to the T in this. And that's what his throne is aboard. These vehicles are holding this throne up. And color amber, out of the midst of the fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. They had these vehicles all around it, and their feet were straight feet. This is some type of landing gear. The soles of their feet were like a sole of a calf foot, and they sparkled like it probably is some type of propulsion system that we don't understand right now, because we only know it's like this. It was like Ezekiel. He only knew what what an ox cart looked like, but we have a little bit more insight than we fly now, and different in airplanes and stuff. But this he describes this unbelievably well. For a man who lived, he used an ox cart, and the wheels went this way. Well, he's saying they're on their side, and they're flying. They're going. They don't turn when they go. They just go, because he knows when you have an ox cart, you turn the head of the ox, and then you go that way. But these don't have their circle perfectly round, and they can go any way they want. They color of burnished brass. So they were like a burnished bronze color, burnished brass, bronze. They had hands of a man under their wings of their 4 sides, and their 4 had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man, and a face of a lion, and the face on the right side, and they 4 had the face of an ox on the left side, and they 4 also had the face of an eagle. Now, what are these? They're in formation. They're flying in formation, perfect formation. They're just everything is, you want to please God, you do things in a very disciplined way. You do it like how they was talking about, everything is done in a certain way. And this is to show you that he's coming to talk to his people, Israel, because that's what's on it. The ox, and where they're positioned. One's at the north, one's at the south, one's at the east, one's at the west. They're all different. They all have these things, and it's a very disciplined situation. The ox represents Ephraim, the tribe of Ephraim. The eagle, it represents the tribe of Dan. That goes to the north. And then you have the face of a man. That's Reuben. And then you have the lion. And that's the tribe of Judah. And that's what this has. And when we go in encampment, we camp that certain way. It was that's the way it was, very orderly done. And that's how God does things, and he wants you to be orderly now. He wants you to do things in that way and be a very disciplined person, and he'll bless you if you do. Thus were their faces, their wings were straight, stretched uponward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. And they went every one straight forward. Whither the Spirit was to go, they went. The spirits inside them, wherever these vehicles went, the spirits went. So it was to go when they went, and they turned not when they went. 13. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. 14. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of flashing of a lightning. They're so fast, they can travel that fast. Blink of an eye. They can travel from wherever and come back. They're just unbelievable fast. They can travel at the speed of thought. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel up on the earth by the living creatures, with his 4 faces. 16. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl. Remember, look up these words in the Strong's Concordance. They 4 had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in middle of a wheel. When they went upon their 4 sides, and they turned not when they went. 18. As for their rings were so high they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes, portholes, round about them 4. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures turned, were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. 20. Whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went, whither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheel. Now you get that? They were inside this. These creatures were inside this. They were looked just like you and I. They were men, but they were in spirit bodies. Now the Zoe is a little bit different. These things are there are only 4 of them, and they protect the mercy seat. That's God's throne. And they're the Zoe. When they're cherubs. When those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood, and when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creatures, the creature was in the wheels. And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creatures was a color of terrible crystal. This terrible is, you should translate it in a different way. It should be translated reverence. You don't fear God, you reverence him. Terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above, and under the firmament were their wings straight, and one toward another. This would have been so awesome to see this. And then if you go into 10 Ezekiel 10, it's almost identical. The same thing is going on. They explain to you what the vehicles look like and everything like that. And